and the highlands of East Africa lay the village of Nyameko, a place once known for music, laughter, and celebration. At the center of the village stood an ancient drum, tall as a man and carved from sacred mahogany. Generations had gathered around it to celebrate births, harvests, and holy days. They believed it held the voice of the spirit of peace. But for 40 years, the drum had been silent. After years of division, pride, and neglect of faith, the village had fallen into silence, both in sound and in soul. The elders called it a curse. The people believed they had been forgotten. One stormy night, an old widow named Mama Didi had a dream. In it, a mighty wind swept through the village, and from the clouds, a voice echoed, "Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit. Look for the child who carries my word." She awoke trembling and shared the dream with the council, but they laughed. "Another prophecy?" scoffed Elder Kwasi. "Our people need rain, not riddles." But Mama Didi was not shaken. "You may laugh," she said, "but I will watch and wait." 2 days later, as the sun rose over the distant hills, a girl appeared at the edge of Nyameko. She was barefoot, clothed in rags, and carried nothing but a worn Bible wrapped in cloth. Her name was Abba. She asked for no shelter, took no food without blessing it, and spent her days helping others. She tended to the goats, gathered firewood for the elderly, and sat with the sick, singing quiet hymns as she held their hands. "Why do you talk to the sky, orphan girl?" a group of children once teased. Abba smiled gently. "Because someone in the sky listens." Only Mama Didi welcomed her into her home. "There's something about her," she told others, "something heaven-born." Every morning, Abba swept the village square and then sat by the river to pray. She helped an old blind man, Baba Kombe, walk safely to the water's edge. "Why do you help an old fool?" he asked her once. "Because Jesus helped the blind see," she said, "and he still helps." At night, children gathered under the old baobab tree, where Abba would read from her Bible or retell parables. One night she shared how Jesus calmed the storm with just a word, peace. As she spoke, a strange wind passed through the leaves, and the village felt something shift, not in the sky, but within their hearts. Then came the drought. The river dried, crops withered. Fear spread faster than hunger. The elders decided the drum must be struck once more. "If it sounds," said Elder Kwasi, "we'll know who is favored." Warriors stepped forward, muscles tense, and slammed their hands upon the drum. Silence, one after another. Nothing. "Let the girl try," Mama Dede said. Laughter broke out. "She's just a child." But the crowd grew quiet as Abba stepped forward. She didn't carry strength, she carried faith. That night, by candlelight, she prayed with Mama Didi. "I have no power," she said. "You don't need power," Didi replied, "only obedience." The next morning, Abba walked to the drum, knelt beside it, placed her hands upon the wood, and whispered, "Not by power, but by your spirit." A thunderous sound burst forth. The ground trembled. Rain began to fall. Heavy, steady, healing. Villagers gasped. The sky wept, and so did the people. Enemies embraced. Old debts were forgiven. Children danced barefoot in the mud, singing, "Let it rain, let it rain, open the floodgates of heaven." Even Elder Kwasi bowed his head. "All my life, I chased tradition," he said, "but this child carries truth." And Abba? She returned quietly to her hut, still praying, still serving. A week later, the chief of the village, Njalo, came to her chapel alone. His head was bare, and his face worn. "I mocked you," he said. "I ruled with pride, but I feel something in my chest, I do not understand. It's conviction, Abba replied, and it means your heart still lives. He knelt, and Abba laid hands on him, praying softly. That evening, Mama Didi suggested a sacred fire be lit in the square. Villagers brought stones, broken tools, even old debts written on leaves. One by one, they cast their burdens into the flames, each with a confession. I forgive my brother for stealing my goats. I forgive my mother for leaving me. Tears flowed freely, and joy followed close behind. One day, a merchant from the capital came to the village and saw Abba teaching children under the tree. You belong in the city, he said. You'll have servants, gold, and fame. Come teach the rich. That night, Abba wept. Was this her calling? She opened her Bible, and her eyes landed on a verse. What good is it to gain the whole world, yet forfeit your soul? She stayed. As the months passed, the rain didn't just nourish the earth, it healed. Baba Kombe could walk without help. Crops grew faster than ever before. A crippled child took her first steps. They called it the living rain. Years later, Abba began to write the village's story on a palm scroll. She wrote of the silent drum, the dream, the peace, and the power of faith. When she finished, she rolled the scroll, tied it with twine, and buried it beneath the drum. For those yet to come, she whispered, so they will remember. The smallest hands can carry heaven's greatest echo. And the drum? It still sounds, but only when peace walks hand in hand with faith. If you like the story, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. God bless you.